Ugh, okay, and I will never get this right. Constantly, I click OBS as soon as I've done it instead of minimizing it. So, let's just wait for a few people to get in before I start doing more doodles. But I'm sure the doodles will always be there. Ooh. Alright. Hey, Mashman, how's it going? I'm doing this the long way around. I don't know why I've decided to do it this way around. Nani? Dark Mark, how's it going, dude? Oh, so, welcome to the fair few of you that probably turned up after the stream last night of the Pictionary. That was some fun stuff, and I'm glad that everybody was around for that. Right, well, I'm sure if you guys have been in these before, you'll probably be aware that usually what I do in these kinds of streams is I literally just doodle whilst I chat and answer some questions. And if you guys have anything you want to ask me or anything like that, maybe about upcoming content and all this kind of stuff, or when I'm going to be doing more Pictionary, when I'm going to be doing another Fusion Challenge, here's a place to do it. And, like, you know, if I can answer and all this kind of stuff, I will do. But yeah, it was lit. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mashman. I had a load of fun with it as well. Like, literally, it was so hard to be able to try and draw whilst there were people making me laugh and all this stuff. Like, it was absolutely humorous. I need something to think about trying to draw now, because these doodle streams always start off better when I've actually got something in mind to draw, whether it be some eyes or whatever. But I'll draw them better than obviously they were coming up in the Pictionary last night, because of course during the Pictionary it's really difficult to draw things carefully, because you've got to do things at such a fast pace, or otherwise the video slows down, etc. So, you know, that's hardly fun at all. Maybe we should draw some people with some time breaker masks or something. That's something you don't see very often, like different people with them on, except unless it's in Dragon Ball Heroes. Let's have a look for the time breaker masks, because I'm not exactly sure how to draw them. I don't do it enough. That'll do. That's a pretty basic looking time breaker mask. So cool. So have a think. So who would we draw with the time breaker mask? Who would look interesting with one? Because we could do, like, you know, you could do the obvious ones, like, you know, Goku, but that's just Bardock. That's just time breaker Bardock. Broly's already had one on. There's been time breaker Vegeta. We could have time breaker Frieza, I suppose. That'd be interesting, I suppose. Time breaker Hit. I don't know. Time breaker Whis. Let's have a think. Let's just. I'm literally scrolling down my list of people on Dokkan Battle now. How many people are going to be in the next Fusion Challenge for all the amount you want? That's a pretty cool question. Generally speaking, I'll probably have. See, it's tough because I've had fluctuating numbers of people in the Beerus. All right, I'll do Time Breaker Beerus. I'll give that a go. But I've had fluctuating numbers of people involved in the Fusion Challenges, because from the first couple I did, I'll give Trunks a go afterwards. From the first couple I did, it was, I think I stuck around 4 or 5 when I started doing it. And the trouble I started having after that was the fact that there were so many people that I would ask, and I wouldn't actually know whether they were going to get involved in the video itself until it was like too late. So I'd be getting ready to record and getting ready to set up. I have to ask around a few people, sort of be like, you know, are you interested in this? And when people would get back to me and sort of say, yeah, I'm interested, that would be great, and I would look forward to it. The problem is that I've also had to have asked a bunch of other people just in case they didn't say no, because of course when you're asking busy YouTubers, half the time you don't know whether you're actually going to get a response or not, because they're busy, and it's not due to you know, ignorance or anything like that, but these guys are doing so much all the time and they get so many messages, it just makes it really difficult to know if you're actually going to get one. So yeah, then the numbers started going up anyway, and I started having bigger ones. And then when Dragon Ball Super ended, I wanted to have like a really big like send-off, so I decided I wanted to do a Super Fusion Challenge. And that was really fun. I got in touch with so many different people for that. So much so I actually wanted to immediately make another one straight after that. But it's just, I don't think people realize how long the Fusion Challenges take. Not just to like to draw up the fusions and stuff like that, but to organize, because you have to make sure that generally speaking, it's hard to get hold of one YouTuber to do these videos for. So when you're trying to get hold of like 7, which is generally the number I like going for at the moment, I seem to think that that's been a pretty magic number. I've had enough people to kind of get round. You get a nice mix of the humor and the people getting it right, because you never want it too much where people are just either messing around to try and make everyone laugh, which is always fun, but I don't know if you know what I mean. Sometimes it's nice to actually have people generally competing. But yeah, so I think I'll probably go for around 7, something like that. But what do you guys think? Do you think 7 is too much? Did you think the Super Fusion Challenge had too many people in there, or did you think that was just around the right sort of number? Oh god, that was a bit of a jarring line. Oh, Beerus is hard to do this mask for because, of course, he's got those bulging eyes, so he's going to have like 2 bits of the mask missing at the back where it's just hollow, where somebody could just stick their fingers behind it and literally just rip the mask off his face. I suppose perhaps he might have a slightly different mask where it kind of came up from here. Like the one that's in Xenoverse, actually, I suppose, because that one in Xenoverse 2 where it just kind of goes across the front of the face, doesn't it? Let's do this. We'll make our own one. I generally really like the Time Breaker stuff, and I wish I did more with it. Especially, I wish that they'd put the accessory in Xenoverse 2 for it. I'd like to make my custom character have the Time Breaker mask. But I think a lot of people had been asking for that, but for some reason, Dimps just don't want to put it in. I suppose it would take some of the niche out of having a Time Breaker Bardock in there. But yeah, so the Dragon Ball Pictionary and stuff that went on last night, that was really fun. I tried doing it once before, not on a live stream, it was just a general video, which is still on my channel, where I had Dimsy and I had Reel to Reel, and it was literally just the 2 of them going against it. And that was really funny, but it just lacked the... I don't know whether it was the competition side of it, because there was only 2 of them, so you knew one of them was going to win. Whereas I think last night worked really well because you really didn't know what was going to happen. Especially with the humour. I really wish everyone had stuck to beeping in, though. I imagine that would have been really funny. I'm eagerly awaiting the next one. I honestly think there isn't an incorrect number of participants, since the way you have things set up and the way you edit is perfect. Oh, that was really... Thank you, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate those kind of comments, because generally speaking, it takes me so long to edit them as well. Not just drawing the characters and then getting the YouTubers together and stuff, but it takes so long to edit, because as you can imagine, I get so many bits of audio and I just have to splice them all together, and then I have to edit all together the moments so that it's not... Well, the thing is, you don't want one of the characters to be revealed who it is and then spend like the next 7 guesses already knowing who it is, or otherwise it spoils it a little bit, because then you're kind of like, all right, can we have the next one? And so I think there's like a knack for the way I've started to do it. I like doing the things recently where I've had the whoosh in between each thing, so you can kind of tell when it's going to break off into being somebody else. So like when for instance, Dino was doing his, then I'd have like a whoosh segment between him and Dion. And you kind of knew where it was going to go. But yeah, so because I quite like doing the head-to-head ones as well. I mean, what did you make of the head-to-head ones? Like, did you like those ones more than the group ones? I suppose it's easier to follow, isn't it? Whoa, Toby, thank you very much. That was really generous of you. Thank you. Like I said to you, I'm sorry I didn't manage to pay more attention to you last night after during the stream. Just generally, that was so much faster than I expected it to be, because I had to I had to stop like looking at the chats to make sure that I could look at what was going on the screen and make sure I was listening to who was answering what, so I could write the point on. And as you're aware, sometimes I even didn't get that because I was trying to read what was going on in the chat, and I was like, I'm really sorry, guys. I don't even remember if I wrote that person's point down. But I take it you guys are really excited for the next one, or are you more looking forward to a fusion challenge next time? Because I've got to think about what I'm going to do next. Because if it's the case, I know, for instance, I've got a few interests for the next Pictionary game from some other YouTubers as well, and I really want to keep the same kind of format, I guess. Used to stream all the time and the chat gets hectic. Yeah, no, it does, and I appreciate that. Then maybe you could give me a few words of wisdom, because I'm not going to lie, I'm new to streaming, completely new to streaming. I've been doing uploads and stuff on YouTube since like 2016, but I am very new to the whole streaming aspect. I've done a stream every night this week, but that was more of a sort of special thing because I needed to apologize, because obviously I do art commissions for a lot of other YouTubers and just random people that want me to do some artwork and everything. Hey, Real Surreal, how's it going, Mark? But generally, I like to try and get this stuff done. SSJ Rose. That's a nice cheesy grin there, Mark. How's the studying going? I recently caught up with the Better Call Saul earlier. Oh no, I didn't catch up. I've got one episode to go. Oh, okay, the studying's not going too well. Nah, I feel that. I forgot what I was saying earlier now. Yeah, I was talking about the streaming. I've been doing a load of art commissions and stuff for people recently, so it's kind of slowed down the amount of content I was making. And so I figured a stream a day for a while would actually be quite a good way of, giving back, because I really felt bad about the amount of uploads I'd done. But to be fair, whilst that had been going on, I had actually been doing some videos with Real to Real on his channel. I've been kind of obsessing about Bleach again. Is this because of the hype toward the new film that's coming out on Netflix or whatever? Is that already out? I think it was supposed to be coming out like last week or this week or something. But I know that my girlfriend had been telling me about Bleach, and she'd been suggesting I should watch that. Yeah. Well, it's kind of good it's good when these films get you like back into it and everything. Because I mean, like, to be honest, if it wasn't for Dragon Ball Evolution, we wouldn't even had Battle of Gods. So even if the live movie sucks, which to be honest, I even watched the trailer for the Bleach one, and I remember actually thinking to myself, it looked pretty cool, and I know nothing about Bleach. Ooh, new from Real to Real Productions. This is a mistake. This better not be a stream of my stream. You calling my stream a mistake? This is interesting. I don't know how to really go from this. Ooh. Go away, Mom. But I don't really know what to do with the neck from here, because depending on the animator you look at, Beerus's neck always looks a little bit different. I especially like the Dion and Dino match, but that's because of their chemistry. But I like to see the multi-matches and seeing their guesses. Yeah, well, the chemistry between Dino and Dion is so fantastic. It's really, it's just, it's unrivaled in some of the things. That's why I knew I wanted them involved. And speaking of people I actually wanted involved, I desperately wanted to get Real to Real in the Pictionary match last night, and that didn't quite go to plan because we've all got things going on. We have to put things aside to carry on, but I know he's definitely got to be in one of the next ones. And currently I am drawing Timebreaker Beerus, because I wanted to draw some more characters with the Timebreaker masks, but Beerus is difficult to do this for, due to the fact that there isn't a mask that would really fit his face. So I've had to sort of, actually that doesn't work, does it? It literally would have to be like this. But Beerus's face doesn't really work with it, because he's got the sort of pointy cat mouth whereas the Timebreaker masks are made for the human mouths and faces and stuff. I think, that, like I was saying earlier, the Xenoverse 2 way of doing it actually had it quite cool because they had the oh, that's not a good color. That's a little bit better, I suppose. Well, the Xenoverse 2... Oh, I'm not going to go into all that. The Xenoverse 2 thing had, like, the eye mask side of it, like a masquerade mask. But, I suppose... If I was just to stick that on everyone's face, you'd know exactly what they'd look like, and the fun would be gone. No, I always like doing this, just putting a little bit of light texture on that for that. And, I like seeing, I like, to be honest, when I'm recording the Fusion Challenges, I like all of the stuff. I like seeing everybody's guesses and stuff like that. It keeps it interesting for me because you never know who's going to come out with what. Because typically, like, you know that a lot of people are going to know who such and such is or whatever like that, and you kind of hope to an extent that people know who you're drawing, and you know what you're drawing, so when people come out with the different things, it makes it really interesting. It's like when Kenzairo called like Master Roshi was one of the other ones instead of like Hitten Gawasu. It was like Hitten Master Roshi. But, you know. Yeah, I was drawing Timebreaker Beerus. Here we go. That's pretty much that done now. As far as the face is concerned, I'm not going to draw the entire body or otherwise I'll be here forever. But let's just put his little bit of... There we go. So, I mean, it's not the right colours and all this kind of stuff. I've got all the colours that have to go up here into it, and I really can't be bothered because otherwise I'll have to hide the chat. So let's just do that. And we've caught that for the moment then. I'll just save this as Timebreaker Beerus. So thank you for that suggestion. Now somebody, was it Dark Mark, did you suggest? Oh no, it was Mashman that suggested Timebreaker Trunks. I don't know if Mashman's even still here. I wish there was a sort of like a... Oh, when I had to take the register in the Pictionary last night after I lost connection with everybody, I should be able to do that in just the general chat. So, shall we have another idea for another Timebreaker character? Who would you like to see with the Timebreaker mask? Could do like, you know, Timebreaker Android 18, Timebreaker Cell, Timebreaker Hit. We could still do Timebreaker Trunks, which would be kind of interesting in many ways because obviously he is part of the Time Patrol, so he would make sense. Timebreaker Future Gohan, Timebreaker Goten, Timebreaker Rose. Let's take a look at that. Timebreaker Boo. What, the Fat Boo, or which one? I'd have to reconstruct the mask again. So, Timebreaker Rose. Alright, let's have a think about that then. Timebreaker Goten Rose. Alright. Let's have a little play on that then. I'll make Goten Rose. Gotta make the... See, the thing with the kids in Dragon Ball is they have, like, really wide jaws. So, like, you get to this kind of point where one of the ways you can tell who's being drawn is because their jaws just go really wide. Although I have drawn that kind of skew if... My bad. Hang on. It's starting to still look a little bit like one of the adults, but... Again, I am trying to kind of not hurry it. Like, obviously, I am kind of going at a general pace, but it's just ways, because otherwise, if I was to spend absolutely as long as I usually would doing one of these pictures, it would be like, I'd be here for hours. Let's just get rid of this bit, because that bit's going to be interfering. And to be honest, actually, if I'm doing Timebreaker Goten Rose, it's going to be really difficult to even tell it was Goten under it. It's got his little... Oh, should I have done GT Goten? That would have been a better way around it. Well, Maybe I'll do that one next. I actually really liked GT Goten's design. Yes. I feel like I should probably go back and do that now. Let's just... alright. You know what? I'm going to just finish this off then very quickly. I'm not going to put any real effort into this now. And if it comes out looking like Episode 5 Goku, then it comes out looking like Episode 5 Goku. New Dragon Ball What If? What if Goten was in Dragon Ball Super Episode 5? Well, then he'd kind of look something like this. Let's do the... Oh, let's do those amazing eyes. Those seldom seen Episode 5 eyes, where he looks like he's about to sneeze all the time. GT Goten, the ladies' man. You know what you're talking about. We'll have to go. I have been up for 21 hours and I need some sleep. Fair play, Dark Mark. You have lasted quite a long time on 21 hours sleep of wait time. I barely survive on... Well, to be perfectly honest, like, I'm not very good at all at lasting on any amount of sleep. I could have, like, you know... I could have, like, 12 hours sleep and I could still end up sort of being all, you know, droopy-eyed in, like, 12 hours' time. He gives girls their first eye cream. Who, me? You gotta... Oh no, I'm messing this up now. It's just starting to look like a fat Goku from when he was a kid. That amazing Goten hand that they always draw with like the massive like sausage finger expression. Who, me? Anyway, that was episode 5 Goten. I'm sure everyone's really glad that they saw that. I hope you and everyone in the stream have a good day. You too, man. Have a good night and get some good sleep. Alright, GT Goten. Let's spend time on that one instead. Ugh. Gotta just find a good image to try and help me on my phone here, because obviously I'm trying to do it quick pace. All the ones I'm finding are at the side where his hair's just going off in a completely different direction to his face. I wonder who decided, like, who was there at, like, actually, no, it was Akira Toriyama who decided, wasn't it? Well, I wonder why Akira Toriyama thought that the best way to give Goten his own identity is with his haircut as he got older was to make Gohan's, but just make it wind-swept to the side. It's just a really interesting way of doing things. You want to make a character have his own identity in Dragon Ball, then you've got to give him a haircut that sort of separates him from everyone else's hair. But instead, you just gave him what his older brother has, but then just blew it to the side. Vegeta's hair was off in GT2. You're absolutely right, it completely was. It was like, kind of like he'd had a haircut, but he hadn't at the same time. But then when he turns Super Saiyan 4, it grows back miraculously. He has Gohan's hair with no bang. It definitely veers off to the side. It definitely veers off to the side. Like, oh. That ear is a bit... I'm just going to have to bring that in a bit. I can't be bothered to redraw it. I'm just going to... Hey, that worked. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm just going to leave that. Ugh. Don't get me started with the stash yet. See you, SSJ Rose. Thanks for stopping by. His bang more literal, if you know what I mean. It's definitely definitely makes up for it with the ice cream. So teach Gohan to make fun of me with my lack-a-bang. I'll show him how much lack-a-bang I have. Lack-a-bang. It's an interesting... Sounds like a word by itself. Or a place. Where'd you go on your holidays, Goten? I went to lack-a-bang. He's... Oh, I already read that comment. Everything kind of moves and I just assume that I haven't read things. That's what that stream last night will do to me. Ooh. Still, Timebreaker Goten. I mean, I suppose we'll know who it is underneath. It's just, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller just so we've got more room for the hair and for the mask. Although I've kind of drawn his face instead of the mask, so at the moment I'm just kind of drawing Goten. Because it kind of comes out the front like this, with a few flicks here and there. And it's really like, I don't know, it's just really interesting. I've never really drawn it all that much, although I do remember, actually I think I drew it quite a bit when I was younger, like when I was a kid. I seem to think, actually, the one thing I really liked about GT was the way that they'd done Goten. And I really wanted him to have a larger part in it, especially considering the fact I figured that he'd have like so much potential as a character. But they just didn't do anything. But, you know, I'm sure Mark's got 1,000,001 videos on why they should have and what they missed out on. But, you know, there was a lot wrong with GT, not just their treatment of Goten. But Supers followed the same suit with their treatment of Goten, so they set it up for him to have a larger part. You're right, they did. I mean, that fight with Baby was really cool. Like, I liked the thing where he, I liked the bit where he, went to... He was on his date with Perez, wasn't he? Or Valise, or whatever her name was. And then he ended up protecting her from Baby. And that was a really cool scene. Then they had that fight. And then where he just kind of, like, ditches them. That was... They could have done so much more with just that, to be perfectly honest. Hey, Jace, how's it going? Delete. Oh, Jace, have you seen what they've done? They showed the gameplay trailer to WWE 2K19 today. And you can fight at the Hardy compound. Now, that's something to be excited about, right? Chair of wheels, mower of lawn. Goten didn't ditch a girl. No, but Baby did when he took his body. And she was like, oh my god, he's so mysterious. He ran away from a baby. Every ladies' man would do the same. I'll be honest, Jace, is the only reason I was considering getting it at the moment is to fight the Hardy compound. I mean, to be perfectly honest, they showed off the rocking chair that Bray Wyatt uses, but they didn't show the chair of wheels. But I'm sure it will be in there. They wouldn't have done the Hardy compound as an arena and not put that in there. At least they've already revealed for the movie, so at least Goten and Trunks will do something. Well, maybe, yeah. The thing is, they're not visible at any point after the... They're not visible at absolutely any point after the... when they start fighting what we've seen in the trailer and stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised because even though Goku tried to teach Goten and Trunks the fusion dance in the show, Vegeta's never seen it. You know, canonically, if we dare use the term. But, you know, actually in the show, Vegeta hasn't seen it, so... it makes sense realistically that they would have to show Vegeta how to do it, and that would make their part in the film hilarious if they've actually got to teach Vegeta how to do the dance. So you've got Goku kind of like telling him what to do, and even Trunks and Goten they go, no, you got to do it like this, and he's going, stop it! Don't tell me what to do. I can imagine that being really fun, actually. This Goten, I quite like what I've done with the hair, but to be perfectly honest with you, I've given up on the time breaker mask thing. If I, to be perfectly honest, actually, I'll be quite happy if I could give him the rose hair, but this isn't his Super Saiyan hair, so it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. I could give him the God hair, Super Saiyan God Goten, because that basically just replicates their base form hair. So that's what I think their roles will be. Yeah, I think that would... I would be happy if they do that, because actually it would give their characters something to do, and I wouldn't be annoyed by them not fighting, because they're obviously going to be outmatched and outclassed by Broly in this film. So that wouldn't offend me at all. I would actually really like that as a role for them. I'm sure Mark would probably like them to do something more than that, but, you know, if they do anything, I'll be happy. That was going to be a really high up eye. But I mean, if they didn't do that, what do you think they might do if it wasn't to do that? Do you think they'd actually transform into Gotenks and try and help fight? Because, I mean, they've done that to try and fight against Beerus and all sorts. And I know we don't know for a fact that Broly will be stronger than Beerus. You know, the jury's out on just exactly where Beerus' power stands at the moment in comparison to everybody. But I'd be curious to see what else they could possibly do. I think if I was going to try and give him the God hair, I might have to draw him a little bit more slender than I have done, but anything is good. Yeah, well, to be perfectly honest, as you say, anything would be good for them. No. Yeah, this doodle has turned out pretty well. I'm not too disappointed with this so far. I feel like it's got quite a bit of Goten's characteristics in it. It's just Goku would be like, you can't do anything with fusion. Kids, quick, Vegeta, we need to fuse. Yeah. Oh God, what if we get the answer to whether a fused being can fuse? Maybe like, are they gonna fuse into Gogeta and then Gogeta and Gotenks will fuse? Well, it'd be Chi-Chi and Bulma's nightmare. That'd definitely be right. Are we allowed to be attracted to this person? It's our sons as well as our husbands? I don't want to talk about that. Let's not see any answers to that. Are you using a mouse or a pen? I'm using a pen. Yeah, I wish I was this good with a mouse. And Vegeta has to make a comment about the ridiculous dance. Yeah, because I get the impression that the idea is that they're basically going to combine movie 8 and movie 12? I think 12 is Fusion, the rebirth of Fusion, isn't it? So I have a feeling they're basically going to try and recreate some of the moments that happen in that. Yeah, 12. And so thank you for that. There's a bit of a delay, so I appreciate the confirmation. But yeah, so I think it might be a bit of a mix of both. That would be really interesting to see, because like I'm quite geared. I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm quite geared to see like a Gogeta appear in this movie. I think it would really make it stand out from some of the other movies, especially as of late. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned that if that is the case and that is what happens, is all direction is kind of pointing to, then it might actually just be a bit of a cop-out film where they're just gonna... there's not going to be a whole lot of effort in the fighting. It's just literally going to be, we can't beat this guy, let's fuse, and then Gogeta will appear and just one-shot him again or something like that. And again, if Gogeta's only on screen for another like 4 seconds or something, like in that last movie, then it's just going to make all Gogeta fans everywhere break down. Yay, after all these years, more Gogeta! And then it's over in a flash. As long as I give him more than 2 actual minutes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is what I'm on about with that delay in the chat. If they Janemba Broly, that would be disappointing. Hey Jerry, how's it going? And yes, it would be disappointing. But I don't know what to expect these days. Not from modern Toriyama anyway. It's very difficult to know what to expect is going to happen. Hey! Goten would have looked pretty cool in... You know what, actually? You know Goku's gi that he used to wear when he fought like Raditz and when he fought Piccolo Jr. in Dragon Ball, like without the undershirt, which I think Goten is actually wearing at the end of Z, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't really remember what his outfit was like, but I'm pretty sure it was just the gi with no undershirt. And GT Goten would look pretty cool with that. And I think maybe I might just do a little shoulder sort of height bit of it where we can kind of picture what he'd be like in that gi. I know Mark will be able to tell me what gi he was in, but let's yes. But Goten's isn't orange. Oh, what colour was Goten's? Was it like a slightly more reddy colour or something, was it? I only watched the end of Z like literally like a couple months ago. My my manga of the end of Z is in black and white, so I can't remember. And it's also in Spanish, so that doesn't really help. Not that that affects the colouring at all, but in the Spanish version, Goten's gi is black. I need to bring this down a bit, don't I? Oh god, that made him look really chubby. Just go 10. Go on a diet. Oh, my neck just clicked. Oh, wait, the one in the tournament is identical to Yamcha's. But really? That's ominous. So, but Goku's kids admire Yamcha more than they admire him. Even the shoes are the same as Yamcha's. Yeah, does that imply that he'd been training with Master Roshi, do we think? Because there could be so much there, like, to be explored upon, if that was the case. Because obviously Krillin's gi is the same as Yamcha's. I think it'd be really interesting if we had, like, a little... you know, and to be honest, maybe Toyotaro will touch upon that at some point. Maybe, like, he'll do something where Roshi asks Goten to train with him or something. Because you could have these nice little flashback moments to when he was training him, from when he was training his dad. So let's just put this across there so I can fill it briefly. Because Goku's gi is kind of like... It's not that colour. It's not that... Well, this will have to do for the time being. I haven't got... I don't really want to go into messing with the colours. Well, that's not too bad. It's just a bit bright. Oh, sure, that'll do. It doesn't sting my eyes as much. And I'm still in orange. And now I'm in grey. There we go. Would be cool, but the turtle helmet symbol isn't on it. Really? But if it's the same as Yamcha's, then what? Is it just blank? Because obviously Yamcha's has the turtle's hermit symbol on it. You know what? I'm asking you for all these things. I really could just Google it, couldn't I? I'm going to do that. I feel mean. I shouldn't be asking you so many questions. Let's have a look. Goten, end of Z. Oh, so it's not like Yamcha's, is it? It's more like it's basically Goku's Resurrection F-Gi. It's just without the Wii symbol and a black belt instead of a blue belt. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's a shame. It's a shame. No, I got my hopes up then. I was like, oh, it'd be cool if Master Roshi did some training with Goten, but never mind. Yeah, it's just it's basically the Resurrection F-Gi, isn't it? And non-blue boots. Yeah, he's got the Krillin and Yamcha boots or shoes. And then when he's on the grass, he's got the yellow and green like baseball top, doesn't he? Goten wore with the yellow shirt and blue. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I didn't elaborate enough. Yeah. Well, I was thinking basically that it would just look like a cool little throwback. But Goten actually looks pretty good in the Goku, just the standard Turtle Hermit gi like this. I think he could have made a really interesting like moment for the characters and stuff like this. I know the skin is very, 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 very like beige at this point, but I don't really have a choice. I can't go into the color editing thing because it's all the way over here, and I just have to start faffing about with that. I mean, I suppose I could do, but it's just I'd have to keep going back in there, and I feel like whilst I'm doodling, I don't really want to commit too much to the effort of doing all that. Ooh! Where's the break? What am I missing? Is it up here? Is it here? It's still happening. Guys, you don't realize how angry I get when I'm like drawing things for thumbnails and stuff and this happens. Like, I get so enraged. We could go into a higher magnification. I'll do that in a minute if this happens again. No, there we go. It's alright. There we go. Ugh. But yeah, if any of you guys stopped by the stream last night, I really appreciate it. I just want to say it again because it was a really fun stream. But the chat was going a million miles an hour, so I couldn't see who was actually in the stream and who wasn't. So I appreciate that. If you stop by, just search it up. Yeah, top does kind of look like Goku's Resurrection F-Gi. Yeah. See, I mean, like, Toriyama tends to reuse a lot of clothing designs for his characters. He tends to reuse a lot of hairstyles. I guess the guy's just kind of like, after all this time, he's a bit run out of ideas, I guess. But not entirely, but just for a general point. For that stream, I got there late too. Ah, don't worry, dude. I'm intending on doing another one. It went down so well, and everybody had such a good laugh in it. So I'm just gonna screenshot this. I like screenshotting it in case I like to use them for my thumbnails, you see, guys. So control. There we go. Goten, Goku, 23rd TB key. That was not what I was intending to draw originally, anyway. Right. Well, I'll do a couple more bits and bobs, I think, and then I'll probably call it a night for the stream anyway. I know it was a bit of a short one tonight, but it's I'm tired, if I'm honest. I've burnt off so much energy in the stream yesterday. I've just been doing like artwork and stuff all day today, and it's one of these things. It doesn't tend to take much time before my hand starts to hurt and everything after we're doing these. I sound like such a wimp. My hand starts to hurt after a while of drawing. Life is so hard. Somebody suggested I do Time Breaker Boo. I could do that. Time Breaker Fat Boo. Let's have a look at Fat Boo. Said no run ever. Boo's like got such a non-threatening face. Even if he had the Timebreaker mask on him, I'm not sure if anybody would run. Let's have a look though. We'll see. We need to do a stream where we all talk about our education, like that one guy asked 2 streams ago. Well, we all talk about our education like that one guy asked 2 streams ago. What guy? The job stream was funny. Which guy are you on about? I need to remember that. I probably will know what you mean when you start talking about it. I just my memory's so bad. Especially with stuff like this, you know. I don't know his YouTube name. That's the point. Yeah. Ooh. I think I'll bring Boo's face down a bit. Just move that there we go. That's a bit better. It's a bit better positioning for me to actually continue drawing. So we'll probably end it after Timebreaker Boo, shall we? Is it we were talking earlier about, like, you know, the fusion challenge and stuff. Has anybody got any questions regarding when the next one's going to be, or, like, you know, does anybody want to let me know who they'd like to see in one, or any guests you'd like to see return? It's always good to know what everybody wants to say, who everybody wants to see. I've already got a few people down that I want to get involved in the next one, and that applies to the Pictionary as well. But I've got a few people down that I'd like to get involved. But for the time being, if you guys have got any suggestions as well, draw Neko Margin. Neko Margin's not that different from Boo, actually, so I could do, yeah. I used to love doing the Neko Margin stuff. Actually, I've drawn a lot of Neko Margins over the years. So I'm sure some of the people that have been with me on my channel since the beginning will remember. Whoop. Oh no, that's swole out a bit. I don't really want it to do that way. There we go, that'll do. Not going exactly for precision and accuracy here. I wonder who would actually guess. Oh! I don't... Okay, so, like, you know, there's a... I could name so many characters, and, I mean, I wanted to do, Actually, I probably can't speak about it just because I know... Okay, well, I've been working on ideas for with other YouTubers and bringing fusion challenges to their channels and stuff like that, and there's a couple of people I know that would really like that going on. But of course, as it's my sort of... It's my baby, my creation, it's kind of... they all want me involved in it, which is fine. I remember a couple years ago... just before my YouTube hiatus, I actually started drawing a load of characters up for one I was going to do at the time, and I don't really mind saying this because it was at the time, but I was working on one with Geekdom, and we were aiming it for around Christmas. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me talking about it, and it was looking really good, and it was all set up in motion. And then I had like some troubles my end, and unfortunately it got delayed, and that was something I'd drawn up, I think, maybe 6 fusions, and I've actually only recently started bringing them back up in some recent videos and stuff. So sometimes when I've run out of time and I know I want another fusion in the video, I'll chuck one of those ones in that I drew ages ago that I never used, and that so you can tell which ones I drew a couple years ago and which ones I've drawn recently because my art style has kind of changed. The way that I draw the characters has changed drastically. Like I tend to draw in a higher magnification now. I know I'm not currently doing that, but of course I'm only doing this for a bit of fun, and that has really changed the outlook of most of my characters. That might give them a headache. Yeah, I understand that. But the point being, anyway, is that I'd done a lot of harder characters in that thing. So I'd used like Tarble's wife and all this kind of stuff, and I'd used a couple of the contestants from the 22nd and 21st Budokai for some of these characters, and I kind of thought for after a while that it might not be that fun, because whilst it's fun for the diehard Dragon Ball fans, some of the fans that actually do come and watch the streams and stuff, but they're kind of doing it because they want to see some of their favorite YouTubers, 9 times out of 10 they don't really want to see some of their favorite ones get it wrong. And so I kind of have to be a bit fair with it a lot of the time. I want people to come away having a really good time going, oh, that was really fun. I've just realized I'm drawing Boo's eyes and I'm supposed to be drawing a Time Breaker mask. But I don't know if you know what I mean. I know half the fun is also seeing them get it wrong. But I'm not out there to humiliate them. You don't know your Dragon Ball. Do I have to draw a fat mask on Boo? No, let's... Oh, actually, if I did... I've got an idea for this. One of the things I like about drawing on these streams is the fact that I get little random ideas and stuff to do. Maybe even at later things with more thumbnails, etc. Because I started doing a series, and I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but if you haven't, make sure to go and peep that. I started doing a series recently where I was sort of doing transformations we'd like to see. And things we might see in Dragon Ball Heroes down the line, and all these other things. Like, for years people had thought of Super Saiyan 3 Broly, and then a couple of years ago it actually happened when it came to Raging Blast. I think it was the first Raging Blast game, and then not long after that it started appearing in loads of games, like the second Raging Blast, and then Dragon Ball Heroes didn't waste any time before they snapped it up. Now, of course, you've got it in the Dokkan Battle and everything, and it probably won't be long before it appears in Dragon Ball Legends and all these things. So, Dragon Ball Heroes has got Super Saiyan 4 Broly now. I can't wait to see what they start doing with this other Broly in Dragon Ball Legends. Are they just going to start having them argue with each other, or are they just going to completely forget the original Broly? Although I suppose original Broly in terms of canon is Kale. Real, where are you? I think he's he's probably peeped the stream whilst also doing work or watching something, I imagine. So he's probably had to disappear. The guy is very busy, and people seriously, people shouldn't forget that the guy is really busy and he does so much work. Hey XV, how's it going? Ugh. So at the moment, I'm trying to draw Time Breaker Majin Buu, which should be quite amusing. If you ever wanted to be scared of him. Not too much long to go on this picture, and then that'll be it, I think, guys. So I've been streaming for about an hour or so now, I think. Perhaps just under? I'm not sure. Perhaps we should... Wait. Boo's got tiny eyes, so like maybe the Time Breaker mask should kind of be like this. I feel like that's more of an appropriate Time Breaker mask for Boo. He can share the one that Neko Majin would have. How are you? Love your vids. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Cheers, dude. How about yourself? Were you able to turn up for the Pictionary stream last night by any chance? I think this Boo is actually, you know what? It doesn't look that bad. It does look like his face when he kind of gets angry, like before he says like big power and all this kind of stuff, which was I always thought was one of the stupidest move names ever. There we go. I really want the Timebreaker mask in Xenoverse 2. Like, I really hope it's one of the accessories they give us in the next update. I don't even care if it's a raid reward. That would be amazing. Actually, I'm pretty good at getting the raid rewards I want. It's just typically that Kefla Wig one. I got it on the PlayStation 4, but I didn't get it on the Xbox 360. Xbox 360, I just jumped back in time. I didn't get it on the Xbox One. I certainly didn't get it on the Xbox 360. Now, I kind of, if it was only like active for like a day, and then the raid just ended, and I was just kind of like, oh, all right. Although I'm kind of glad, because I think I had to get like 15,000 points or something on it, which was, ugh. I actually watched it after the stream. You're pretty good at Dragon Ball characters. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. I've been drawing them for a long time, and you've missed a couple of the ones that were in here earlier. Earlier on, we drew Goten, and we drew... Who else did I draw? Come on, Josh. It wasn't that long ago. Who did I draw first? Okay, now I am going into this. It wasn't Mrs. Satan. It was Timebreaker Beerus. That's who we did first. And then we did Goten. There we go. So, yeah. Oh, no. There we go. Just got to finish off the little red eyes, and I think that's Boo done. But thank you for checking out the Pictionary stream afterwards. That was even I watched a little bit of it back afterwards, because I kind of missed a lot of the comments and stuff that were coming up. I don't actually like the fighting style of the Saiyans in Xenoverse 2. Not sure if that was relevant. The fighting style of the Saiyans, yeah, I'm not really crazy about it either. I feel like it's too it's too robotic. It's really choppy, I guess is the word I'm looking for, I suppose. The humans have a nice fighting style. The Namekians utilize the stretchy thing a little bit too much for me, considering the fact that Piccolo really doesn't do it in quick succession in a lot of fights. Oh yeah, of course, you're going to make me do this. Joel is here! I don't... same, I love drawing Dragon Ball Z characters. I've been doing it for 5 years and now, and I also draw dinosaurs, because why not? Yeah, no, dinosaurs are always good to draw. They're very intricate and all this kind of stuff. Like, you know, the scales of them, if you ever go into that much detail, that'd set you back a bit. Spaced out for a bit, I admit. Yes, I only use the Earthlings and Freezer Race in it. Yeah. The Freezer Race, I think, is the most fun to use. I especially like it because you can do the thing with the tail, where you do the grab move and it sort of chokes them and spins them out. I like that. This will kind of do, I think, for Boo. I'm not really crazy about going into all that detail with him. I actually enjoyed Xenoverse 1 more. Yeah. Well, actually, you know, Xenoverse 1, I think I found it really tedious at times. There was so much going back and doing previous missions because the RNG was so much worse than Xenoverse 2. But I mean, literally, they copied and pasted so many of the Xenoverse 1 missions into Xenoverse 2 that it really kind of made me feel like it was tedious all over again. And I've had to play through it twice now because I was doing that. Timebreaker. Boo. Let's just put it back to that. And I think I want to become a... Oh, hi, The Last Son, Alex. Thanks for stopping by. XV says, I think I want to become a paleo artist or an animator. I'm guessing a paleo artist is somebody who draws dinosaurs or something, is it? I'm guessing just from paleontologist. I guess that would be a derivative of that. Can't you play Xenoverse 1 in Xenoverse 2? What? Yeah, I mean, like, supposedly, because, I mean, most of the parallel quests from Xenoverse 1 are in Xenoverse 2, but the story's different. I mean, like, Demigra doesn't have anything to do in Xenoverse 2, but he does in Xenoverse 1. Actually, I think he might be in the odd mission in Xenoverse 2 as a... No, I'm confusing that. And what program are you using, Suz, if you get this a lot? I'm actually using Flash CS6, just to double check. Yeah, it is CS6. I used to prefer using Flash 8. I do get the question a fair bit, but to be perfectly honest, I don't mind answering it because I've always used this kind of program, especially to draw. I preferred it truthfully when Macromedia used to run it, but Adobe seemed to kind of... they're not as... I don't want to, like, you know, say anything bad about Adobe, but they don't seem to take as much care with this program as Macromedia did, I suppose. Oh, got you. But what I did was I kept selecting a different mission every time, so it wouldn't get boring too quickly, but it was definitely a problem. Yeah, I played through Xenoverse 1 on PS3 and then later on PS4. Oh, right. Okay, let's just... I'll sign this off now, I think, guys, because it's been going on for just a little bit over an hour, I think, or just a little bit under. I'm not sure. It's either way, it's close to an hour. Okay, Prince Vegeta 860. I'll remember that you were XV. XV equals... Whoops. Prince Vegeta 860. See, everybody? There you go. Everybody knows. But yeah, so thanks everybody, guys, for stopping by the stream. I know it was nothing crazy in comparison to like the Pictionary stream last night, but it's nice just to have a bit of a catch up, find out what you guys are interested in, what you guys want to see in the future of Pictionary streams and in fusion challenges and going forward and stuff like that. Even just what you want to see on the future of this channel. But as I say, thanks for stopping by. It was great catching up with you all, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow for tomorrow's stream, which will be around the same time. So until then, see you guys. Bye.